Okay, and we're back. All right, so we left off. We were dealing with the darkness, whatever the hell it is. So we're gonna jump down and see if we can't finish off the darkness bit here. I remember this being particularly annoying, so hopefully we're through the really annoying bits. Yeah, I don't really believe that either, but you know, hey. Alright, which way was I supposed to be going? I don't remember now. Alright. Pretty sure I was going the other way because we came from areas where we were trapped. But having to break into stuff. Alright, let's go to the transit bay then. Oh, for God's sake, are you kidding me? I recognize this. Didn't we already do this? Whoops. Really? That's better. Where I just came from? Where I just came from. Okay, damn it. What smeg am I supposed to do here? Ugh. Looks like I need to get back through active investigations. Shit. Not really. Okay, I can fly the best. I can do all the launch the best. Mm. Yeah, let's build up our energy. See if that makes any difference. Surge. Okay. Sure, why not? Yeah. Give me more accuracy, I guess. And I guess damage against enemy armor? Sure, why not? Let's see, what was this? Launch speed on launch kills. Alright. What's this? Ground slam, don't care. Weapon reload after seizing an enemy. Alright, there seems to be a lot of this stuff that I don't care that much about. What's this one? Oh, damage reduction if I seize people. Alright. Okay, there's somebody ringing my doorbell. I'll be right back. It was the Postal Service delivering me a package I'd been expecting but not realizing they were sending today. Nice. Okay, looks like we need to go active investigations. Well, what's... There we go. Entrance of somewhere we just got done with.
nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with altered items. People just don't understand the altered items like I do, you know? I don't want to brag, but it does take a very empathetic mind to connect with the items. Still, I don't know why people are making it so personal.
Right.
I mean, the teams in research handle paranatural materials every day, and no one thinks they're weird. Well, maybe that's not true. Darling is... back. Anyway, as I was saying, still, I don't know why people are making it so personal. I mean, the teams in research handle paranatural materials every day, and no one thinks they're weird. Well, maybe that's not true. Darling is famous for being a bit out there, but when he's weird, it's charming. Altered items really aren't that frightening once you get to know them. If you figure out what they like or don't like, you know, what sets them off, then there's nothing to worry about. I guess at the end of the day, we're still just wild animals scared of our own shadows. We're supposed to be on the same team, but sometimes it feels like it's every department for themselves, like it's a race, and we're all trying to be #1. If it is a race, though, I'd say Darling is a mile ahead of everyone else. He was Trench's golden boy for years, but that relationship has gotten really intense, or so I've heard through the grapevine. Not that I spread rumors, just, you know. Not me, though. I keep my nose to the grind. Too much work to do to focus on those kinds.
Fucker. Oh, hey, I bet it's gonna suck if somebody throws you into the darkness. Fuck you, the darkness. Sorry, I just really wanted to blow him right the fuck up. Probably couldn't tell by the way. Okay, where the hell is the fucking thing at? In the darkness is where it's at. Apparently light isn't affecting this darkness, or... Fine. I'll jump into it. Oh no, apparently not. This way. Damn it. That's not what I wanted. Oh, this is gonna get old. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, fuck you. Damn it, Beavis. You know, these are not good or clever puzzles, they're irritating as fuck. It'd be clever if I didn't have to fucking keep using the same fucking piece over and over again. Oh, god damn it, and that's not even anything useful. Fucker. Bullshit! I'm really getting tired of that crap, too.
It's too dark in here to fight this thing.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing in here, particularly. I see a cube. I haven't seen anywhere for it to go.
Metamorphosis.
Well, I assume I need to go this way.
Okay, we're gonna try this one more time and then we're done playing with you. Understand?
Jelly,
Where are you from?
jumbo grain, up and loose and heavy treat sandwich.
Jesus Christ, does anyone have any idea what this thing is saying?
Hotly, dirt arrange you.
Why are you here? What the hell do you want? Why are you stowaway on that ship?
School training, boy. Obviously many analyzing loops through and about. When did we
Did he just say Mitchell? Was there a Mitchell at NASA?
Tubes.
You know what? Never mind. I can't do this anymore. Just send this thing to the guys in research. Let them cut it up or whatever they do. You hear that? They're gonna cut you up, you pain in the ass.
Spider time.
Okay. You know, I'm getting right about to the point where I feel like I should just go ahead and cheat everything, because these guys are just too full of shit. Like, you know, here's just a little level 8 bullshit guy I can't even hurt. Kind of the problem. Like, these guys, you know, they get worse and worse and get all sorts of bullcrap upgrades. And I don't. My upgrades are like, oh yeah, you can use another thingamabopper. Yeah, but what was that? What does that actually do for me? Nothing! Isn't it great? Okay, I've had enough of this. You know, there's something to be said for damage. That would be, I'm getting really fucking tired of having to spend hours shooting at guys that have too many hit points for the bullshit nothing damage my weapons do. So we're gonna take care of that in the stupidest way possible. We'll just one hit kill everything. Because hey, you know, if you couldn't be bothered to fucking develop a game properly, I'll just cheat the whole fucking way through. I like to fucking play a game where I can actually, you know, play. And try and do stuff and be better, but given that, you know, basically the damage mods on the guns are bullshit, and the enemies get tougher, but the guns don't. Doesn't seem to be any other reason to do anything but cheat my way through, so well, there you go. Hope you're happy with your shitty design. Okay, what the hell was this supposed to have gotten me? Did I miss a memo somewhere? Apparently. Maybe it turned on lights and got rid of some slime or something. I didn't even realize was down there. Boy, aren't you a clever game developer. I'm sorry, but a lot of this stuff is just so damn Mickey Mouse.
Looks like whatever force had a hold on Hartman isn't mixing well with the Hiss corruption. Lake did call him the third thing.
Okay, I'm just going to freestyle a bit. My mother always said, never talk to strangers. Always. Never. Always. Never. But isn't a stranger just someone you don't know? What if the only thing stopping a stranger from being a friend is that word? Stranger. Strange. Strange like the noises you hear at night when there is no light and you cannot fight. Strange like a rubber duck that follows you around and makes you drop your coffee every time that it quacks because the noise scares you. Then you have to clean up the coffee. The duck stares at you and continues to quack, quack.
It's not that it's unfair, it's just very irritating, because it takes fucking forever to do anything. And that's all it is a play for
A
time.
chain letter. I remember these.
Nine unread. Oh. Ah, yes, the corrupted Ranger Airborne. Because, hey, it wasn't cheap enough. This subgroup of Hiss corrupted Rangers has manifested the ability to levitate. Similarly to the Hiss elevated agents, however, these airborne Hiss Rangers display no telekinetic abilities. They're just fucking annoying. And simply continue to use mundane Bureau weaponry. This evolution, being so similar to the elevated, possibly indicates that the Hiss can share permutations through a type of network, or perhaps osmosis, or perhaps just lazy game development. However, the fact that this development in Hiss Rangers has only been observed in the investigation sector may indicate that an environmental factor is responsible. I can't tell if that's Tabby. I think that's Tabby that just walked in. They could be responding to an altered item or a paranatural element found only in that sector, or perhaps this is a natural progression of the Hiss Ranger phenotype. Not enough time has passed to determine a conclusive trajectory for development for each of the Hiss manifestations, assuming any such trajectory exists. Refer to file redacted for full report. Black Market. Official findings report. From David Gleason, Special Investigator, by order of Remy Dennis, Chief Investigator. Summary. A black market hub specializing in trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine altered and paranatural materials, was raided in Redacted, Czech Republic, by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. A, there is a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. B, these criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. C, the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Refer to file 512. Oh, goodness, pardon me. 0221 for full report. Door appearance. Ocean View Motel observation report. Details. An excursion into the Ocean View Motel and Casino discovered a previously unseen door in the hallway. This door featured a spiral-shaped marking, designation door, redacted. Similar to the other doors, it is locked and cannot be forced open. Alice Wake, a person of interest in the Bright Falls AWE, Alice Wake, a person of interest in the Bright Falls AWE, refer to AW35 for details, and former wife of missing author Alan Wake, a suspected para-utilitarian and redacted, contacted agents Saw and Dempsey of the investigation sector using a phone number given to her in 2010 in accordance with the civilian outreach protocols. The call resulted in Miss Wake being brought into the oldest house for an in-person interview. For a full transcript, refer to the file Redacted on Redacted 2017. The excursion into the Ocean View Motel occurred later that same day. Conclusion. Determination whether this is a basic synchronicity event, if Alan Wake is responsible for the appearance, or if the door itself relates to AW35, is paramount. She should be returned to the oldest house, possibly even taking the motel itself to confirm if any other changes occur. Hartman background. Official findings report, RE, Dr. Emil Hartman. Compiled by Remy Davis, Chief Investigator, by order of William Kirkland, Head of Investigations. Summary. Dr. Emil Hartman is an academic psychotherapist that owned and operated a recovery center in Redacted, Washington, focused on the treatment of artists struggling with creative blocks and other mental disorders. Creative block is a mental disorder? Publicly, Hartman's treatment center seemed unremarkable in its methods and purpose. Privately, however, oh, goodness. Man, kicking my ass. Privately, however, Dr. Hartman was abusing his patients in order to utilize any latent redacted abilities they may possess with the aim of shaping redacted to his own benefit, which earned him a Class II paracriminal designation. I didn't think I was, but apparently. Note, for more on the link between the artists and their ability to redacted reality through artistic mediums, see the file Redacted. Investigation has proven that Dr. Hartman's illegal endeavors were conducted alone. After being approached by the Bureau during the Redacted investigation, he displayed no remorse or intention to cease his actions. Dr. Hartman was taken into custody, evaluated, and released Redacted months later, having been deemed a negligible threat. His medical license has permanently been revoked. Refer to File 7-12-8557 for full report. NASA Cooperation Review. Interagency Cooperation Decision. RE NASA. Summary. Following the NASA-FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the Black Rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In addition, all data gathered during space missions is made available to the Bureau available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised their concern that this is a relationship that does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. Through examination of the costs accrued by both organizations, it is shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the Redacted far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivering of Black Rock from its medium Earth orbit. The Redacted will provide the Bureau with unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. Refer to File 381-4812 for full report. Shaded specimen captured. Shaded specimen A-010, formerly Dr. Emil Hartman. Summary. An alert from the Redacted Washington monitoring station indicated minor redacted activity in the area. Agent Estevez was dispatched to investigate. Inside the Redacted lodge, she discovered the facility's former owner, Dr. Hartman, had been converted into a shaded individual, per definitions found in File 634-1923. And displayed violent behavior characteristic of this type. Agent Estevez alerted the on-site research team to the specimen's presence and with some difficulty was successful in containing it in a Black Rock cell. The cell and its inhabitant were transported back safely back to HQ, where the specimen remains detained in the Redacted sector as part of the Redacted AW investigation. Once the investigation is closed, research teams have petitioned to relocate the specimen to their sector for study. Refer to File 511-0203 for full report. Night Springs Screenplay, page 1. Note, the screenplay was found after the Bureau acquired the Night Springs television series and all its past episode scripts. It appears to have been written by Alan Wake as part of an application to become one of the show's writers. Night Springs Spec script. Episode Over the Threshold Darkly by Alan Wake. Host voiceover. It is only human nature to wish to control the forces around us, and even more so to possess them. But what happens when those forces are not ours to claim, or even of this world? What happens if the things that you discover, what happens if they are things that you can discover in the Night Springs? Interior Secret Lab Night. We're in the secret lab. Large sign on the wall reads, The Federal Bureau of Night Springs. Scientist. If I've told you several times, Director, it isn't... I've told you several times, Director, it isn't ready. Director. It's ready when I say it's ready, Doctor. Scientist. But the being beyond the portal, we have no control over it. Page 2. The robust director shoves the nerd-like scientist aside and heads for the portal control panel. He slams the on button with a determined fist. Director, all the more reason. The entire screen is filled with dangerous red. Then it fades away and we see the two men are in another dimension. The air ripples around them as if they were a... The air ripples around them as if they were a 1983 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am sitting in the Texas sun after a 5-day road trip. Okay. Interior unknown dimension night. Scientist. What have you done? You've doomed us! Director. Control yourself, Doctor. Where's this beast of yours? Scientist. Right here, sir! A horrible, shapeless, shifting entity fills the horizon. It can't be described. That's how horrible it is. Director. What a thing of beauty you've been keeping from me. Nice. The Shadow. Examination of Paranatural Entities. The Shadow. Compiled by Erza Cruz, investigative researcher by order of William Kirkland, head of investigations. Summary: Paranatural Entity A10 or A0100, aka the Shadow, is an aggressive, redacted, consisting of 3 known types. Type A: localized manifestations of sentient redacted, capable of occupying organic and inorganic materials as well as exerting redacted over its surroundings. Type B: shaded individuals. Human bodies redacted by the Shadow. These individuals become noticeably more aggressive but do seem to retain redacted of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. C: shaded objects. Similar to Type B, except inanimate objects are redacted solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, see AWE 35, which may imply a shared link to a redacted intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive defensive measures. Investigation sector is being outfitted with additional light sources, some internally powered to prepare for the eventuality of an redacted. Refer to file 634-1923 for full report. Boy, there were a lot of those. Been falling behind. Eagle Limited Summary. AWE 44. Event Summary. A train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as Redacted. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of sabotage. Event response. The Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggests the event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, A response team on site was able to respond to the train incident within minutes of the occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to investigation sector for further studies. Arcade cabinets procedures. Okay. SHUM arcade cabinets. AI 40 PE. Containment procedure. A distance of 10 feet between the items suppresses their effect. Effect only triggered on physical contact. Description: altered effect. Items are a pair of arcade game cabinets originally designed for the games SHUM AI 40:A and SHUM 2 Kulgar's Revenge AI 40B. The games were manufactured by Bonco Entertainment, now out of business. Despite being a popular arcade game in Japan during the early 80s and early 90s, no other SHUM cabinets have been found by our investigators. When touching one of the items, while it stands within 10 feet of its counterpart, the user's mind is transported to a version of their subjective reality that resembles the video game in logic and function. Events from their everyday lives become game-like sequences in which speed and efficiency are paramount. The brain enters a stroke-like state, as proven by EEG studies on users, which only ends after the user finishes the game, at which point they resume normal brain function and motor function. Okay. Vending machine procedures. Vending machine AI 81-KE. Containment procedure. None known. Testing in the investigation sector is currently ongoing. Description. Altered effect. A vending machine, its front covered with a faux wood panel, coin-operated buttons for selecting food products. Covered by a faux wood panel, coin-operated buttons for selecting food products. Okay. It's just an odd sentence. Feels like it should be front covered in a faux wood panel, comma, coin operated, comma, and buttons for selecting, but that's just me. Picky. The item generates and stores a variety of material, both edible and otherwise. In its rows and internal trays, stores a variety of materials, both edible and otherwise, in its rows of internal trays. Initial testing suggests that the item reacts to the mind of the individual in closest proximity and will produce whatever they subconsciously desire. Attempts to cause the item to create a living redacted have consistently failed. Background. The item was discovered in a nursing home in Redacted, Alberta, after a resident named Muriel Redacted called a local news station about a magic vending machine. The news story reported that the nursing home staff was purposely stocking the machine with distinctive food objects as a way to raise patients' spirits. The Bureau response team encouraged this story while confiscating the item. Okay. Correspondences. Chain letter. Hey! Move this letter along before he gets you. Oh no! This spooky man letter has found you. The spooky man curse is coming for you. To miss the curse, you must mail this letter to people. If you don't, the curse will get you. The more letters you mail, the better off you'll be. Sally in Houston did not mail the letter, and the spooky man ate her cat. Hey, fuck you, spooky man. I'm not forwarding the letter. Bring it. I'm going to kill you. Terrence in Greenstone did not send the letter, and the spooky man gave him acne. Well, that's a little odd. I mean, eating a cat versus giving somebody acne? That's a little strange. Kyle did not send the letter, and now his wife eats dinner alone. Is that because Kyle's dead, or because he works late hours? Linda did send the letter. Did send more letters. 30 letters in total so far. And look at her now. She owns 3 cars. She has all her fingers. She speaks Italian. You need to mail this letter. You better mail this letter. Don't let the spooky man come. He'll take your cat. Motherfucker! Go find your stamps. Hurry! Fucking spooky man. Interrogation complaint. Kirkland. I see. Kirkland, so you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was fucking hired to do? My job? You want to know what I call that? Bullshit. Asking us to investigate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard of in my life, and I've heard some fucking stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they already know as much as us, if not more. And they get to sit there laughing at us while we dance around with words, trying not to leak classified terminology. And they already know the fucking terminology. If you think pulling me off of this case will stop me, then think again. That piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed those people, all to make the train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell, so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists, and they deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You go ahead and put me on suspension. See if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt. Motel complaint. Hey, Stu. Did you hear about Fisher? He got himself in trouble in the motel. Why the hell does anyone volunteer to stake out that place? Gives me the creeps, but hey, at least he came back, if you can call it that. I saw some of the footage they pulled out of there with him. Tom down in evidence processing showed me. Crazy stuff. Fisher had the cameras pointed at himself half the time. I'm guessing he went nuts on day one. He did catch something, though. Got one of those optic fiber cables under the door of a room he was hiding in and recorded something out in the hall. Looked like a shadow, maybe human. Tom tried to get the quality up, but it's still blurry as fuck. Just reaffirms my position. Stay the fuck out of the motel. Anyway, up for some shoom later? Lisa got up to an hour and 38 minutes yesterday. New record to beat. See ya, Dave. I'm pretty sure we've heard all of those.
The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're in new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality, behind this reality, you must want these ways to drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. The third thing was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden.
Mom used to say they were evil. Better do what it says. You know, just in case. There must be a photocopier around here.
Are you shitting me? Well, I guess I do work in an area where it's quite possible that could be a real thing.
Send a ranger to my location.
Oh, for fuck's sake, really? shit just goes all the way down, don't it? Fuck you, you bunch of cheap shit suicide monkeys. I don't know why they let me call for a ranger. Is it just to see them get murdered by these guys? Did you get down here, bro? Try not to sound like you're having an orgasm so much. Okay, I eradicated some mold. I don't really get if that helped anything since there's still deadly fuck you mold in there. But hey, I'm sure it did a thing. No, really. I'm sure it did. No doubt in my mind, it did a thing of some sort. A thing. Yep, here we go. light source. But I just saw something down below that or one. Well, I thought I did. Oh, I see. The second I hit that, the wall thing becomes active, so I can call it back down in case I lose it up here. You know, I thought that guy couldn't stand out in the open, lighted areas.
I knew you'd be here.
I can't tell if it did anything. Guess we'll read the mission thing there. Oh, hey, Night Springs, page 3. The director steps closer to the horrible entity. He reaches out a steady hand. Director, you're mine now, creature. I will return you to my facility and control your power. Scientist, sir, we don't know. The entity instead rushes forward and engulfs the director. He screams in pain as the scientist looks on and does nothing, like the coward he is. Entity, subtitled, I am not the one being examined. I am not the one locked inside a prison. Gradually, the director emerges from the entity. He once possessed sparkling eyes, which are now empty and dull. The scientist rushes to him. Scientist, sir, we have to escape. Director, we cannot. They're in control now. I got what I wanted. Oops. Shaded Hartman. Examination of Paranatural Entities. Dr. Hartman, shaded. Summary. Dr. Hartman is the first Type 2 shaded individual to be examined alive by the Bureau and has proven a valuable asset for our understanding of A010, aka the Shadow. Like all shaded individuals, the specimen is constantly shielded by or produces a redacted of darkness that makes visual observation difficult. This redacted also protects the specimen from harm. During testing, non-lethal ballistics proved ineffective against it. The specimen uses words and phrases that seem to originate from its previous life as a therapist. Some phrases even have even been identified as quotes from Dr. Hartman's book, The Creator's Dilemma. This seems to indicate the host personality remains redacted to some degree. For research purposes, Shaded Hartman was relocated to the Cauldron Lake Lodge replica built for the redacted AWE investigation. Researchers hope a familiar setting may trigger new behavior. This experiment yielded no results so far. Refer to file 5221019 for full report. The Faramaro AWE-7 incident report. ID AWE-7, event date 1/31/1971 through 2/09/1971, event location, Faramaro Formation, Luna. Oh my. A paranatural entity arrived on Earth by infiltrating the Apollo 14 lunar mission at an unknown point in their voyage to the Faramaro Highlands of the Moon. Event response. 32 hours after the return of the Apollo 14 command module to Earth, the Bureau was contacted by Mr. Redacted, a White House senior official, and instructed to send a small team to the Johnson Space Center in Houston. At the base, the team examined the entity and carried out interviews with NASA staff. They learned that 4 astronauts had returned to Earth instead of the expected 3. Each human crew member was insistent that the mission left with 4 members, though they couldn't name the 4th when asked. The entity seemingly affected their memory and to make its presence feel unremarkable. The entity was transported to the oldest house for investigation. Note: an altercation between NASA security and the investigation team occurred upon the arrival of Mr. Redacted, called to clarify the matter, though tensions remained high. Bureau jurisdiction and clearance should be defined more clearly with other federal agencies. Okay. Okay. Well, that really didn't help me figure out what the fuck this thing does.
The Federal Bureau of Control!
Oh, I see.
Like a worm through time.
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The driver's seat.
Fuck my life. Seriously?
When you hear this,
Yeah, this is out of here. bullshit, man. God damn it, I'm sick of this shit. Man, I'm telling you, this ring around the rosy shit they're playing here gets really fucking old fast. Oh, especially this can't do anything about this guy. Did I mention my pleasure at the fact that there's randomly another box somewhere I have to fucking find?
You will know you're in. The third thing. What's up?
No, you can't. You can teleport right on top of you and shit. Oh, god damn it. Come here. I see. There's not a third cube. Why would there be? That would be too easy.
There. One less place for him to hide.
Gerbil took the top head. Well, sure, why not? That makes perfect sense. Service ducts. Oh boy, what could possibly go wrong here? Fucking light around here I can pick up. My kingdom for a goddamn flashlight. Well, I was trying to break open that wall, because it looked like it could break open. But that might not have actually turned out to be true. 59, give me that one. Oh, it's Pierce. Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of Pierce. Because the rate at which these things fucking attack me, it's damn near useless. But maybe it can't break open. Maybe it's just crappy. Fucked up wall. Yeah, I think I just busted up wall. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Back down to active investigation zone. Oh, I can see what's in here. Now.
Director, ma'am, great timing. Hartman just came through here. God, he was hideous. He tore the security door into the Bright Falls AWE site wide open. He was so ugly. Like, wow. I got a good look at him, and Christ, he does not look like he used to. The hiss must have messed him up or something. He looks like a bar rag that's been twisted by the world's strongest man. Or a monster from some 80s horror movie. You know, back when it was all practical effects? Ugh, nasty.
Real
Did you say
professional.
something? Remember, I can't hear you. Never mind, just go after Hartman. Oh,
I've
so
written,
disgusting.
The darkness wants to hide the past and make me lose my way. I trust what I read on these pages. I wrote them for a reason. Cut through the reality, tear it apart, and rewrite it. They are drawn to the mystery.
Stuck. Let's go take care of it.
Thank you for meeting with us again, Dr. Hartman.
It's my pleasure, gentlemen. I hope the information I provided thus far has been of some small use.
It's been invaluable, Doctor. Really, we have a much clearer picture of this event, thanks to your accounts.
Well, I do consider myself a keen observer of...
We did have one question, though. You mentioned in an earlier conversation that your patients displayed, and I'm paraphrasing here, unnatural abilities that you in fact encouraged during their time in your lodge. It'd be very helpful if you could fill us in on the details there.
Of course. Like yourselves, I work to understand and even bend the rules of our earthly paradigm. My patient's well-being was paramount, of course, but I would hardly be a man of science if I did not reach out at the underlying truth. As I stated in my written proposal, I believe working alongside your organization could be greatly beneficial to communities. Sharing notes, as they say.
Thank you, Doctor. That's all we need to hear. Remy?
Dr. Emil Hartman, you have been found in breach of codes 4, 8, and 74 of the Federal Bureau of Control Criminal Offense System.
What? You can't do this. I am a well-connected man. You're making a dire mistake, my friend.
You'll be detained until further notice, and all personal property will be confiscated, including the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
That's preposterous. You can't just seize my property. I'm a United States citizen. I have rights. That lodge is my life's work. I'm offering you years of research.
Get him out here.
You're making a mistake. You have to listen to me. You have to listen.
I've forgotten again. I had a plan. I know it. I've forgotten.
Right.
Whatever is going on with Wake, he clearly needs some help.
I noticed there's no janitor's door this time. FBC seal of approval.
Going mad. Wake had to escape, right? His escape. Wake needed a hero. A hero needed a crisis. For the part in the story about the government agency, Wake needed something special, something to convey an alien force mimicking human intelligence.
And point.
Another replica.
I need a ranger sent to this location stat.
Make way for the director!
Jesus Christ. Am I supposed to be able to fucking see anything in here to do something?
These are the notes of Dr. Emil Hartman. I am continuing my work alone again. Like my generous
A monster!
Now it's night. Oh, Langston was right. You are pretty far in the eyes.
Are you fucking kidding me? Where the hell is the on switch this time? Or did something else fall off? Something else fell off the fucking wall. way the fuck over here.
Hartman won't be a problem anymore, Langston. But investigations need someone to run it. Interested?
I've seen what happens to sector heads, ma'am. No, thank you. Ma'am, I'm getting something on my terminal here, an AWE alert from Bright Falls, Washington. But it might be a glitch. The date's all wrong, a couple of years in the future. And we're in lockdown, there shouldn't be any incoming signals.
Maybe it was active before we went into lockdown? Are there agents on site?
Let me check. Agent Estevez is the field agent in charge of monitoring the site, so she should be there to let us know if the situation has been through any major changes recently.
Things set in motion. If the alarm's true, then so is the reason for the alarm. The effect must follow the cause. It's happening again. A return. You have been warned.
Oh, good. Hey, you lived through it, buddy. Way to go. Not that there was any doubt that you lived through it. Oh, wait. Let's see if there's anything to find around here that we didn't see, because it was fucking pitch black.
This must be where they studied Hartman. Kinda looks like Dylan's cell. I wonder if they treated him as badly. Okay.
These are the notes of Dr. Emil Hartman. I am continuing my work alone again, since certain parties were too blind to recognize a golden opportunity. Despite my generous offers, the conversations came to naught. Some people simply do not value collaboration as I do. Though I believe now that it was for the best. The sort of bold, pioneering work that I am undertaking cannot thrive under the shackles of bureaucracy and regulation. I have a history of seeking such partnerships. There was a time when I had hoped Alan Wake and I could collaborate. Together we could have produced art such that the world has never seen. Wake was stubborn, egotistical. Writers usually are. Disappointing nonetheless. But now, like Tom before him, Wake has disappeared into Cauldron Lake. And this is where my work turns hypothetical. Since he was lost to the lake, Thomas Zane has been observed by various townspeople. This indicates to me that the individuals within the lake are not entirely gone. I anticipate Wake will similarly return one day. While I may harbor some resentment for the man, his raw talent and determination are undeniable. From this, I have concluded that the lake and the dark place within it are not as removed from this world as I previously thought. Given my acute awareness of what awaits within, my meticulous preparations, and my considerable education, I believe myself much more prepared than either Tom or Wake. I should be able to cross into that dark realm with the chance to return as they have. All that remains is the dive itself. It frightens me, I admit, but such is the burden of the truth seeker. I will take my plunge into the dark tomorrow, with only the light of knowledge to guide me. It is time for a breakthrough. Until I return.
Well, I think we see how well that went for him. Why is there so much crap in pitch blackness in this area? Oh, sorry, buddy.
This is the director. I need immediate assistance.
I don't actually. They're totally cool, don't send anybody. I have no idea why I was asking for immediate assistance. I do need to check out, well, let's take a look at the collectibles. Damn it. Alice Wake interview. Interview number 65F124. Compiled by Derek Sy and Carolyn Dempsey, special agents, by order of William Kirkland, head of investigations. Background. After reaching out to the Bureau, Alice Wake was brought into the oldest house for an interview on Redacted 2017. See file redacted for the full transcript. Summary. The interview conducted by Agent Sy and Dempsey revealed that Mrs. Wake has had reoccurring nightly visitations from her missing ex-husband in her New York apartment. Address redacted. Mr. Wake appears out of nowhere and rushes at her down the corridor. According to her impression, he appears crazy and horrifying, clearly coming at her with violent intent. Ms. Wake believes that he is haunting her, insisting he is not Alan, but a fucking monster in his body. Miss Wake has not been sleeping out of fear of these visits. Her attempts to keep the lights on through the night result in the relevant hallway's bulb breaking every night, possibly indicating involvement of the redacted. Further investigation required. We propose installing monitoring equipment in the apartment. Copies of supply request form L501-4 have been sent to Mr. Kirkland and administration for approval. Wake evidence. Admission of evidence, evidence ID number 12231-C. Description: a photograph of Alan Wake captured by Alice Wake during an event in her home. Background: Alice Wake, former wife of Alan Wake, see AWE 35 for details, has recently been visited by her ex-husband or entity resembling him, see file redacted for more. Being a professional photographer, Miss Wake positioned cameras with motion sensors around the corridor he appears in and managed to capture an image of Mr. Wake on film. Additional information: during this interview, Miss Wake, she mentioned that her favorite camera, a redacted model, was lost in 2010 during AWE 35. No match has been found among the confiscated evidence from AWE 35. It has been filed as a potential altered item, and research staff stationed at Bright Falls are being contacted to check to see if they have any knowledge of such an item. And here's said photo of Alan Wake looking creepy as fuck. Right. Bright Falls 1976 summary. ID AWE 10, event date 9/17/1976, event location Bright Falls, Washington. Event summary. An unconfirmed threshold manifestation occurred at Cauldron Lake, Washington. The citizens of Bright Falls had gathered in the town's southwestern fields for the annual festival known as Deerfest. Eyewitnesses all claimed that the day had been sunny, confirmed by the area's weather reports, but then, with no warning, a thunderstorm appeared in the direction of the Anderson farm, and a tornado rose from Cauldron Lake. The torrential rain that followed caused a flash flood. It was as if the day had turned into night. Testimony from redacted. Frank Breaker, the sheriff of Bright Falls, formerly a bureau agent, see employee file redacted, managed to guide the crowd safely as the festival grounds were destroyed by the flood. The festival was canceled, ending one day early. Lack of official bureau presence on the scene makes this event difficult to report as a confirmed AWE, but similarity to known events in the Bright Falls area lend credence to the accounts of the town people. Bright Falls 1976 supplement. Details as before. Details. On the day of the flooding, the rock band Old Gods of Asgard was rehearsing in the field outside the Anderson farm, the homestead of band members Odin and Thor Anderson. Both admitted to being in a heavy state of inebriation at the time, having spent days drinking their home-brewed moonshine while celebrating Deerfest. Boy, oh boy. After the townspeople were evacuated from the flooded field, Sheriff Breaker was asked by Freya Anderson, daughter of Thor Anderson, that's actually Tor, not Thor, Tor Anderson, to check on her father and uncle. Breaker drove to the Anderson farm and found the band members alive, but in need of medical aid. Tor Anderson had been struck by lightning, and Odin Anderson had cut out his own right eye. Possible reference to Norse deities, redacted and redacted. They claimed they had fought and valiantly defeated a dark army from the Scratching Hag rising from Cauldron Lake. See AWE redacted of 1970, related to the suspected redacted at Divers Isle. While impossible to verify, these events were related to the reoccurring AWE at Bright Falls and the Cauldron Lake redacted. Odin and Tor Anderson have been listed as persons of interest. From Morrow supplement, AWE 7, the Apollo 14 entity, commonly known as FRA, underwent a series of physical examinations upon admittance into the oldest house. The entity can speak, though its poor grasp of English language makes meaningful communication impossible. Interview material can be found at redacted. Its physical form consists solely of the extravehicular mobility unit (EMU) spacesuit used by NASA astronauts, the same model worn by the other crew. This could be an authentic EMU taken from one of the NASA astronauts, though this suit does not bear any wearer's name, or the materialized through redacted. conversion or possibly redacted corporealization. The suit itself is slightly damaged, which is likely due to the fact that the command module did not have a fourth seat for the entity to strap in during re-entry. The EMU is entirely hollow and pieces can be removed, though this seems to agitate the entity. X-rays and spectrograph imaging have shown redacted shaped outlines existing within the suit. For safety reasons, the entity will be contained in a secure cell until more information can be gathered. Okay. Right. Did you get this one?
Thank you for meeting with us again, Dr. Automon.
Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah. It wasn't just that stuff I was after. I was after what the fuck is our current mission? Clear the clog. Well, as far as I know, that's done. Eradicate mold. Burn the trash. Eradicate mold. Oh, for fuck's sake. Talk to the board, really? Okay. Really? Let's go back to Central Executive and go from there.
That's no normal piece of paper. Okay, I need to know where it's gonna end up.
Really? fucking kidding me?
I need to find the other pages.
Oh, lovely. More bullshit. That was that thing that did this. Okay, where the fuck is the goddamn hotline from here? I'm way the fuck in the middle of nowhere. What the fuck? Because this is fucking annoying, that's why. Yeah, I know. What the hell am I trying to do this time is the real recurring thing. It seems like there's never a good answer. Did nobody see that? What?
Even if it was a dream, I feel Darling reached out to me through the hotline. Problem in the Foundation. That was Ahti's vacation spot. We need to check this out.
Hey there, Tabby.
Dark, quiet, trans-dimensional. This place really suits Ahti. So that etching is the door. Okay, let's try opening it.
Some days good, some days bad. Tabby had to go to max security lockdown last night.
No time for sightseeing. The board said this was an emergency. Looks like no one's been down here in a while.
Research site camera. Oh boy, this just gets better and better. Oh yeah. Giant dicks extruding out of the floor. Just keeps getting...
The crystals are kind of pretty. Emily would be having a field day down here.
My life's been a strange one. Certainly stranger than I'd like. But this place, it's something else. The floors crawl, the walls slither. It's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does. How did we miss it? Northmore. Acting director in Northmore now is on a train from Washington. He'll expect answers, which is why I'm making these tapes. They're evidence that I'm at least trying to understand. Father searched his entire life for something like this, and we find it 1 week after he's buried. He always hated irony. Of course, Father, the great director, Ash, would have been the first man in. And look at me, his bookworm son, the supposed head of research who can't stop his legs from shaking long enough to step over the threshold.
Delta. Deep cavern. Okay, clearly we have to go do something somewhere else at the Martin Cavern to find out what the ultimate bullshit that's going on is. Well, at least it's not fucking dark.
The Foundation. Bottom of the oldest house. Stop the hiss.
Marshall? How was she on the hotline? Unless she's dead. Jesus. She seemed like the kind of woman who could survive anything.
Okay, let's like step over here and find out. Unread. Right. Let's see what Rachel said.
I only heard of the Foundation when I became head of operations. The very bottom of the oldest house. Director access only. Just the name alone is classified. Zachariah gave me a tour the day I was promoted. Said I should see it for myself, to understand. After that, I snuck down on my own from time to time to keep tabs on the place, and on them. But nothing ever changed down there. Not even the walls. It's solid, permanent, different from the rest of the house. Of course, they were always watching me. I never stayed long. I'm not stupid. I have to stop the hiss from finding this place. I'm the only one who can.
Okay. I guess that doesn't break open.
So the hiss found their way down here too, huh? Those structures. Is that the astral plane? How is that possible? This is worse than I thought. We need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, well, we got this dust everywhere. That's not good. Cavern's still on lockdown. Oh. Compiled by Theodore Ash, head of research. By order of Director Brodnick Northmore. On art and time. At first, I thought the cave paintings in the Foundation chronicled ancient humans' encounters with natural occurrences like weather, but soon it became clear they depicted events far outside the average human experience. Also, it seems I was wrong to assume the images are ancient. Radiocarbon dating suggests something impossible, that I've been down here longer than the paintings. That's absurd, though. The style and medium clearly indicate a Paleolithic origin. I was ready to conclude that an ancient community of humans lived in or around the oldest house. Now, with this information, I don't know what to think. Is one of our agents drawing these? Or is there someone down here with us? This place has a habit of skewing my results, so perhaps the data is corrupted. Or perhaps, the paintings were created at different times. The art does seem to chronicle not only the past, but the present, and possibly even the future. I see in them echoes of the board, some linear architecture, and what could be interpreted as a director. Are the paintings telling a story that's still being written? If so, who's writing it? Good question.
Are using pickaxes now?
Again, no clue how tough those guys are or aren't. I just have it on fuck you mode, so we'll never know, and I don't care. So, Foundation is actually a DLC. Oops. The Hiss Sharpened Agent. Hiss Sharpened Agents display the para-utilitarian ability to rapidly move short distances. This ability is unique in the fact that it's not associated with any known object of power. However, we should not discount the probability that, oh goodness, this ability is an object variation. For example, abrupt physical relocation, APR, could potentially be a variant of the jukebox's effect. Other explanations of the Hiss Sharpened's abilities include a momentary time manipulation, B, brief increase in physical speed, C, and inhibiting witnesses' sense of sight. If we do accept that the Hiss Sharpened's ability is not connected to a known object of power, then the Hiss are either manifesting unique paranatural abilities, or there are objects in the house that we aren't aware of. Ooh, that would be shocking. Either way, the Hiss are continuing to develop new strains of corruption that is a cause for concern. For file redacted for full report. Foundation accident. 2. H. Wilder from M. Tabbitt. Subject contractor issue. Federal Bureau of Control. Mr. Wilder, I have some bad news. You remember that Robert Ricardo fella that we brought in as a special consultant to map the lower caves? Well, today he found a chamber with weird eyes covering every inch of the walls and a strange black arc pillar, or a strange black pillar in the center. Kind of looks like the one at the crossroads, but smaller. We had a Bureau member shadowing him, but whatever happened in there did a number on our guess. The docs are taking a look, but it's pretty clear Mr. Adventure's days, exploring days are over. I know we are careful to limit the guy's exposure to the non-ordinary. Drugging him and carrying him through the upper floor was a real hoot, by the way. But we need to reevaluate our policies on external contractors. Honestly, we'd be better off forming a special division trained in rappelling and orienteering than subjecting more outsiders to the shit we deal with. They almost always end up dead or loony. False. Relocation order. Federal Bureau of Control. Tom! You missed the good news. I'm sure the official memo will go out soon, but Northmore called an all hands at the crossroads to announce we're finally moving out of this hellhole and up into the house proper. Bureau Brass approved, apparently solved the moving walls problem, or at least figured out a way to pinpoint where and when they happen. All I know is that means goodbye darkness, goodbye weird lunches at with that ex-Nazi scientist, and goodbye pissing into the pit. I know that was you, Barry. Northmore's ordering the Foundation sealed as soon as we can haul our stuff out and somehow convince Ash to come with us. He's the only one kicking up a fuss. This is long overdue. We've lost 11 men and damn near $10,000 in supplies moving between the entrance and the Foundation. And for what? Research? Ash is batty if he thinks we want to stay here and sift through more sand for him. It's just rusted iron flakes anyway. Did you know that? We're breathing that shit in. That's interesting.
The astral plane is cutting into our dimension. What if this happens in the upper floors? It'll destroy the Bureau.
Okay, I don't think I can get over there.
I wish I'd brought Emily with me. I could really use my head of research right about now.
Marshall? Marshall! You're alive! Wait! It's Jesse! The director!
Yeah, that totally was not a phantom.
Whoa. This place is huge.
Marshall? Can you hear me?
She was on the hotline, so that person couldn't have been Marshall, right? One problem at a time. Let's see what's going on with that pillar first.
Actually, I want to know what the fuck this trailer over here is. Okay, mostly garbage so far. Huh.
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable, which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made a discovery. A pistol placed on a stone pedestal in front of that strange ebony pillar. Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns. But it is the perfect lure for someone like him. Hours after finding this weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ran it about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me. Strangest thing? There was no pedestal in front of that pillar a day ago. This building has swallowed a dozen of my men, and now it's handing out presents? Is it playing some sort of game? If it is, we're most certainly losing. Hell, we don't even know the rules.
Why do I know that feeling?
So I can only choose one? I thought I was done with these tests.
Okay. Am I supposed to know what the fuck to do here?
Okay, let's review. This broken pillar is called the Nail. It was broken by something, and now the astral plane is bleeding into the foundation, which will destroy the oldest house, the bureau, and everyone inside. I need to find 4 locks, or keys, or whatever, to stop that from happening. But I'm the director. I've handled worse. This should be simple. Ish. You with me?
Well, I don't see any way to go that way. Wonder if I can. Source gained from taking melee damage. Well, that's, I suppose, a thing. Shut up. There will be none of you fuckers. I just want to know what comes next. The hell were they shooting at? That? I just really love the spike trap things. I just wish I could get more guys with them.
This area looks newer. Is it from the upper floors?
My wish is their command. Neat.
Something behind this barrier.
Looks like mold to me. But maybe it's rocks I can use or something. Okay. Guess that was nothing. I mean, why wouldn't it be? And down I go. Splat. I think it was going up and down. I didn't notice. Maybe that was supposed to be the trick, but I didn't see anything that would let me manipulate it. Oh, good lord. Really? Ugh. Oh, for fuck's... Okay, I'm done. That's it. Oh, it didn't send me all the way back? Well, that's nice. Alright. I don't remember how far it was to the fucking... whatever the fuck we were just at. We got homped at. Looks up. The paw is up. Now the paw is waving. Which is pretty SOP for those, if we're being honest. This. motherfuckers.
You're listening to America Overnight, now in its 29th year. Or is it? It is, don't worry. Tonight, we're discussing thrift store oddities and one-of-a-kind finds. Peggy's on the line from Biloxi. She and her husband found a beautiful Himalayan salt lamp at a garage sale. Tell us about it, Peggy.
I'd heard of salt lamps, you know, those glowy rocks you plug in. They're supposed to release negative ions. Clear the air? I got one, only $4, and I put it in our living room. I thought it would look nice there. It gives the whole room this lovely orange glow.
Now, this is usually when the call takes a turn.
It's my husband. When he's in the living room, he won't take his eyes off the lamp. He's obsessed with it. If I turn it off, he gets so upset. He says it needs to stay on no matter what. Last night, I woke up at 3 a.m. He wasn't in bed. I found him in the living room staring at the lamp. He was smiling. His eyes were open, but I thought he might be sleepwalking, so I shook him. He just kept smiling at the light. Then he started to speak. He said, every time a reflection reflects itself, it gets a little greener.
I've read that.
And then he turned to me. He was still smiling, eyes open. My husband's eyes are brown, almost black. But the eyes of the man in the living room last night, his eyes were green.
Sounds just like Decatur. Get everything you can out of her, then call HQ. Peggy, I'm so sorry to cut you off there, but we need to go to commercial. I'd like you to stay on the line, though. My producer, Karen, needs a little more information. Okay?
Okay.
America Overnight. We'll be right back.
Okay, what am I supposed to find in here? Or do in here, or whatever the fuck? I see. And the blinky thing is where I'm going. Well, no, I think that's how I came in, isn't it? No, it's not. Alright. Interesting in here. Those are bathrooms. Of course, you never know when they're gonna hide artifacts in the bathroom, so...
Someone call a plumber.
Glad no one was around to hear that.
Well, okay. I wasn't wrong. There is a fucking thing in the bathroom. There's two things in the bathroom. Well, I hope that wasn't important. Okay. Odd. Well, yeah, I mean, that's three things then. If you want to go with the hits, that's a big part of it. Looks like I have different sides.
Cancerous item detected in transport bay. Access is prohibited per safety regulation 18.A.
No power. Typical.
Well, on the bright side, there's not some monster in the dark trying to eat me. Yet.
I should hire someone to build smaller machines. So that's the altered item. Looks pretty secure.
Okay, what the fuck do I have to do to open this shit up so I can put the fucking power cells in? What magic wankery is this? No. Motherfucker. Okay. Getting very annoying, but alright.
The name of the sun.
Damn it. Stealing my lights.
No altered material detected in area. Personnel may now safely enter. Have a Bureau full day.
Why did I even need to be in here then? It's just gonna be a fucking dead end. Because I'm sure that unlocks the security door that takes me down to what the fuck is supposed to be next. Boy, it just wouldn't be this game without tons and tons and tons and tons of repetitive back and forth, click this next puzzles. The engine thing pulling the panels down was clever, but I don't know what the fuck it is. Hope nobody has an emergency down here. Hey, who didn't see that one coming? Fuck you. Fuck you very much. Because I came in and fuck you, that's why.
Properly trained. Guess I pass. I am very properly trained.
Yeah. I'm properly trained in getting fucked over. All the fucking time.
I remember that camera. How the hell did it get out? Are they shooting movies now?
After that camera! And step on it!
I don't know what the fuck this is.
No way am I sharing the spotlight with kids.
wouldn't have been cheap at all. Not that it hasn't been cheap all along, but this would have been even cheaper. God damn it.
Thought you could lose me, huh? Why am I talking to a camera?
Seriously?
I almost had it. You're too tall for this ride.
Fucking hell.
Wait, what? We're back? Did that really just happen? Felt like a dream. Or maybe a bad movie.
And where's the fucking camera? Gone. Because fuck you, that's why. Yeah. Because fuck you. That's why.
That damn gun. Faith. Not sure she's ready.
I'm here, aren't I? I saved the Bureau once, and I'll do it again.
Another etching, like the one I used to get in here.
Okay. Let's have a look at this one.
Is this the lock/key the board told me about?
Fuck.
Just doing my job.
First one down. Director Faden's got this covered. Okay. Oh shit, I got a bunch of abilities. Didn't realize. Well, I guess I'll spend them all on this stuff. I don't know. Unless I get some new... I don't know. Oh, C's is where I take over somebody. So I've been putting mods on something I don't even use. That's of no use to me then.
Well, that would be awesome if I wasn't already cheating my way through the game because it was too cheap. Man, that's no use. Well, apparently I might as well just throw a couple of those on there, since nothing else has anything to do with anything. Alright. I think we're going to call it here because it's getting a little late. I need to grab something to eat and get to bed because I got work tomorrow. Hope you guys had a good stream. We will continue trying to figure out how to save the day again tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Take care.